Hey Good Buddies, what's up and welcome into the Good Buddies Anime Show. I am your good buddy Roger, and we did all of our best of 2020 stuff in one long podcast episode, so it's being broken apart for YouTube. We appreciate you being here. If you want to check out the best openings, outros, or endings, be sure to go check out the podcast wherever podcasts are available, and check out YouTube. They'll be going up separately as their own individual episodes, in which I'm recording this for. So we really appreciate you for sticking with us for the 2020 anime year, or just the 2020 year in general. It's been amazing. We really appreciate you guys. It was a much better year with you guys here, so thank you, good buddies, and we hope that you enjoy the list, and leave us your thoughts in the comments below and your own individual list of your favorites of whichever we're going over right now.
And with that, we're going to go ahead and move on into our next little bit here. That is the straight up best animes of 2020.
Yeah. In a rough year, man.
It's been a rough year.
And a year of delays.
Zozo really bent us over and gave it to us, man. 2020, Zozo, you are not messing around. Yeah. But we found some gold in this turd of a year.
We sure did.
And with that, let's go ahead and hit it, baby. Do you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
I'll go first this time. I feel
all
like
right, baby.
Yeah.
Give me your number 5.
My number 5 is Inspector.
Hell yeah.
It both made our opening and outro list respectively.
Mm-hmm.
You had the outro and I had the opening, but the show itself is amazing.
It's a great show.
These essentially little yokai or whatever that our main character she speaks to, that nobody else can see, and they have a real world effect. They're little tricksters or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
She is their mouthpiece. She is the problem solver. Whenever one of them is causing trouble or something, she is there to fix it.
She is essentially a ghost detective / mediator.
Yeah, she is the Yu Yu Hakusho.
She is the Yu Yu Hakusho. But yeah, even the spirits have problems that need to be solved.
Yeah. And then you get into the character, her love interest, who turns out can see the same things that she can.
Even though he is not particularly blessed.
Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't feel. He isn't. He just straight up isn't blessed. It was kind of forced onto him.
It was forced upon him, and hoo boy.
Yeah,
his
ruined,
backstory fucking sucks.
Yeah, it ruined a relationship that he really cherished.
Yeah.
But through the ruining of that relationship, our main character, she got her chance. And as they kind of form a team and start to work together to deal with these little creatures and spirits, and which ultimately goes into a larger arc of this bigger spirit that is actually killing people, which is Nanase.
Steel Lady Nanase.
The Steel Lady Nanase.
She got a fun dress and some big old titties.
Yeah, she sure does.
That's not even like us saying it. That is a plot point that she has big old titties.
Yeah, it really is.
God.
It really is. It got her to where she was, and essentially she was born of rumors on the internet, pretty much. She had died, she had passed away, and the rumors that swirled around her death created this monstrosity that is now, in fact, impacting the real world.
It's a classic
via killing
thing.
people.
It's a classic thing. Like, the more you believe in a thing, the more real it is.
And the whole fix behind it is that they have to solve this mystery to figure this whole thing out. So to unravel how the rumor got started, who was starting the rumor, why it got started, how she died. All these episodes meld together to solve this larger mystery and to ultimately release this troubled creature from its chains and release it from the world to where it is no longer injuring people, because these creatures can live in the world in harmony with people.
They can.
That is why she's the mouthpiece to help. She is the line of help, and man, the show is really good. The love story they got going in there, where it's like you said in the outro, it's hot and cold.
Yeah, there's a little bit of will they, won't they. There's the return of a former lover, etc., etc., and then there's the drama that comes with that. I almost forgot.
It's also great
about
to
that
see
level.
how dry she's like. she's very dry. She's extremely dry. And to the point where, you know, like...
She will just drop these random little, like, lines. Like, there's a bit where she's with the dude who she's into, his former girlfriend. They're together. Like, her and her are together. And she makes a joke, like, when she falls off her bike or something. She's like, are you okay? It's like, oh, no worse than being deflowered. Yeah. Did you ain't had sex yet? You lied.
Yeah, losing my virginity. Yeah, it's really funny because she's so dry and she's also kind of a pervert.
Yeah, a little bit. It's a lot of fun.
And it kind of flips the trope, you know, like you don't usually get too many female characters like this one.
Yeah.
At least not done in a tasteful way that is at the very least funny.
skeevy.
Yeah. It's not overbearing. It's just funny.
Yeah.
I really like the show a whole lot. I thought it was a ton of fun. I really hope it gets another season.
Me too.
That was Inspector. You should definitely check it out.
Check out Inspector. It's a great show. Let me hit you with my number 5, big boy. Mine is another one that's kind of in a similar vein, I'll say. It's called Toilet Bound Hanako-kun.
Really loved it.
Really great show. So Hanako-kun is sort of this whole show. Almost everything in it is based around these little urban legends and spirits and whatnot.
Real urban legends,
yes.
too, in Japan.
Yes, Hanako-kun is a real thing that, like, it's kind of like Bloody Mary or whatever, but except it comes out of a toilet or whatever, like the third stall on blah, 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 if you knock 3 times, etc., all that. But this one, Hanako-kun, is a real thing. It's the spirit of this young man who... is kind of, he's like hangs out at this school and he's kind of not unlike our girl in Inspector, trying to keep everything in line. And he ends up running across, getting involved with this human girl who's there. There's all these other characters who show up and they end up going through these different areas and these different spirit realms to try and fix stuff and keep it from getting out of hand. There's other characters who introduce. There's like more or less an evil version of Hanako-kun. There's all kind of different stuff that happens. There are characters that show up and characters that die, and characters that come back as ghosts and whatnot. The thing that really does it for me, it's not just that the story is cute and the world is fun. It is the art.
It is very impressive.
And I've said this about shows before, but I don't think I've ever meant it this hard. You could take almost any frame of this show and put it on my wall, and I'd say, that's some good fucking art you got there.
Yeah.
Damn near every frame.
It kind of hits like this colorized manga style.
Yes, it is definitely like the moving manga. There's not that much movement going on. It's a lot of just like, here's the image, here's the mouth moving, this character will walk over here. There's not that much going on like animation-wise, but the art is absolutely beautiful. It's absolutely some of the most beautiful.
Yeah, it really sets it apart. It sets itself apart from a whole lot of other shows.
Yeah, it's absolutely glorious. I really, really love this show. And also, there's just these little bits they throw in. Like, you meet the creepy lady within the first few episodes that's like some kind of she's like apparently killing people or something, or trapping them in this other dimension, and so they have to fix that. And it turns out she's a little kitsune, she's a little fuck baby in real. Once they get her out of there, and there's the little bunny things that are like shapeshifters that like show up every now and then, and they're like, "You want candy?" Like,
yeah, they jack stuff.
Yeah, they're adorable and they're super fun. And it's, again, it goes to, like with Inspector, the whole thing of the perception becomes the reality, because everyone's perception of, minor spoilers for one of these, is that there's this creature that it's going around and it's gonna get you, and if you're not careful, or if you don't say this right, or if you're not carrying this thing with you, then you're gonna it's gonna kill you. And the way they end up fixing it is changing the story and spreading this new rumor that, yeah, there's a thing following you, but it's not gonna hurt you, and if you give it a candy, then it'll actually be your friend or something, like that kind of stuff. They just switch it up enough so that once the perception changes, the reality changes, and it's just very clever and very fun and very cute. I really love Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. It's a great show. If you haven't watched it, check it out. God, it's pretty.
Yeah,
it's very pretty.
It's really pretty.
All right, how about your number 4, big boy?
My number 4 is one that's going on right now, along with a couple of my other ones. But this is Jujutsu Kaisen. Some people might not think that this is high enough. I just had some that personally I thought, that I quite enjoyed. One of them that's finished, 2 of them that are not. But man, Jujutsu Kaisen is so much damn fun, and it definitely has room to grow on any list.
Oh yeah.
It has room to, become one of the all-time great shonen animes. if it keeps up doing what it is doing. This anime is essentially, the closest thing I can relate it to is a cross between Naruto and Yu Yu Hakusho.
More or less, exactly. Yes.
It sits within that occult world, and fighting powers of fighting these different demons or spirit, which are essentially born in by perception.
Yes.
You learn that
there's a theme.
Yeah. But the show itself goes so far beyond everything that it has to do. It just excels in so many other areas where the action is incredible.
Yes.
The animation is also incredible. The characters are incredible. The side characters are incredible. The freaking references.
The constant, amazingly hilarious. And that's a thing. Like,
spot on.
I've had moments where, like, I'm playing a game or watching a show and they keep making references to stuff and it gets old.
Yeah.
See Family Guy. See Borderlands to some extent.
Mauro Ranallo when he's commentating in NXT.
God love it. I love that boy. But I don't need you to tell me everything about everything. But this one, it ain't got old yet.
Nope.
It's just
the variation is incredible.
Yes, it is of course set in the real world, although with like all these curses and demons and whatnot. So it's not so shocking when Homeboy makes a reference to Dragon Ball Z or Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah.
Or any of that.
Yeah, or even movies and stuff. Movies that he's watched or whatever.
Literally just seeing anime ass Frodo and Sam.
And then another thing it has recently done is now we've got to a point where, okay, I've felt all these things. Now I feel devastated.
Yes.
By even, they write a side character so damn well that I was destroyed whenever this character died.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was hoping, the whole time I was like, I hope this character sticks around. I freaking love him.
Hope you're there forever. Hope you're there forever.
Nope.
Nope, bye.
And they do that in the course of one episode, which has such a spectrum of emotion in it.
Yes. I'm also going to say here, this is kind of more a joke for me, but it's got a little something for everything. There's even a bit where the character who appears to be the big bad for the show is fighting another character, and he's got these little shapeshifty powers, and you watch him change his feet from deer's feet so he could run faster back into human feet, and then he kind of just kicks him in front of the camera for a second. So you get your feet pics too if you're into that.
Yeah.
He's literally wiggling his toes at the camera for a second.
Yeah,
it's like, all right.
I don't know how they managed to hit everything in the show, but they hit everything.
It's very fun. It's a very fun show.
I love it. I cannot get enough of it.
I'm just going to go ahead and skip a little bit ahead because I'm going to tell you right now, it's my number 4 too.
Okay.
The only reason it is not any higher is because it is ongoing. And again, as I said before, recency bias. Do I just love this because it's so fresh and new? I don't think so. I think I really love this show.
Yeah, I really love this show. Along with the couple that are ongoing that are still on my list.
Yeah.
This last season, man, it's hard to argue that it did not freaking deliver.
Yeah, more so than the rest of the year for the most part, I'll say. I will say the rest of my shows are all from earlier this year. But
I also feel like the winter season coming is about to be very strong.
Oh, it's stacked. It's absolutely stacked. It's going to be the biggest year since friggin' 2018.
Yeah.
2019. But yeah, it's gonna blow you all away. It's a fun time.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen was your number 4. Just go ahead and skip me, baby, because it was mine too, and we already talked about it.
Okay.
So what do you got for numero 3?
My number 3. Technically, this one.
Bronze medal.
This bronze medal.
Bronze medal.
It was last year's anime towards the end of last year. However, we did not get it here in America until March of this year.
Fuck what the Netflix said.
So I did not get to watch it until March.
We're counting
it. So it would suck to just not be able to talk about it or put it on a list at all.
We're counting
it. It was actually very, very good. It far exceeded my expectations of what I thought it was going to be. It is B-stars.
Hell yeah.
Man, for a CG show that is essentially what you would describe as furry porn, God dang.
I definitely spiked the audio.
It's okay, dude. It's okay because damn it is good. I mean, you straight up see one of these furry characters get banged.
Yeah.
But man, I loved it. I loved that furry banging, dude.
Jesus Christ.
It opened my mind to a lot more things.
We're learning a lot about Roger. I feel like I asked you this before, but if you were a furry, what's your animal? Come on.
Dude, I'm an otter.
Yeah, I figured you would be, you giant. You're too big.
It's an otter or an elephant, dude.
Okay. Okay.
What would you be?
Lion. I got all this hair.
Okay.
Come on.
Yeah, you got to be the king of the jungle. Okay.
Not necessarily. It's the same thing I said before. I remember having this conversation.
Is a lion a king of the jungle, or it's more of a savanna creature, right? Is tiger king of the jungle?
It's in the savannah. I mean, if you go by Wizard of Oz, if I were king of the forest. Yeah.
Well, that has nothing to do with Beastars.
We had to get one tangent in, baby.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, dude.
Go on.
It's essentially a high school drama.
It's
but
very
with these characters and
a bit. It does get dropped pretty quick for all the other relationship stuff, but a bit of a murder mystery.
Yep. It is. It's dark. It's gritty. It's touching. And the characters are written very well. Some people disagreed with me whenever I said this in our review of it. We did review this one. But I thought that it had one of the best dubs that I'd ever heard.
All right.
I thought it was very well done.
I liked it.
But I watched the other audio, the Japanese, the original audio as well. It's so good.
Yeah.
Lugosi is such a brooding character.
Yes.
He's I described him as almost a Phantom of the Opera-esque character.
But
which is
less
crazy.
less incel.
Yeah. But it was a different time.
Listen, if anyone out there doesn't think the Phantom of the Opera is an incel, go ahead and at me, because he is, and he's terrible.
Oh my god.
Go on.
The tangent is going to be all over
fuck
this.
the Phantom of the Opera.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay. I think there's just a general. What I mean by Phantom of the Opera is not so much that. Is that everybody kind of has this.
He's very
of
dark,
it, but
and
they
brooding.
don't have the full context.
They don't know him really.
Yeah. It's more of a mysterious character, somebody hiding in the shadows or whatever.
And when they get to know him, he's actually pretty cool, unlike the Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah, it's true. But he does have a very dark side, like the Phantom of the Opera.
Oh God.
So the school is
stop saying Phantom
I know. The school is broken into herbivores and carnivores.
Yes.
They all go to school together. There is a power struggle between the two because obviously carnivores eat herbivores.
Most of the carnivores are trying to get by with egg sandwiches and whatnot.
Yeah.
But sometimes, get hungry.
Sometimes you want a little bunny snack.
Johnny hungry.
And the story falls largely into, a very human story of your desires and stuff. Some of the darker things that you want or whatever, not acting on it, learning how to control yourself, learning how to control your emotions, choosing your own destiny. It's very much what the show follows, and it is super good. It's so well done. It far exceeded my expectations. I can't wait to watch it again before the next season comes out, which it has been announced, I do believe. So I'm stoked about it. I can't wait to see where it goes. I love the characters. I love all the different dynamics between them. They all feel real for, characters that are furries. They all feel very human. And it's just impressive how well they did it. And I love the show. My fiance, she watched the whole thing with me. And it's good if she sticks through the whole thing.
Yeah. Me and my girl watched it together.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. It's just a good show.
Yep. I really loved it. But once again, it came out last year. But
technicality, we're giving it to it.
Yeah, it came here in 2020.
Hey, if it came out this year, it might have been even higher on the list. Who knows?
Yeah, God knows.
Call it a bronze medal.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, dude. I think we've tangented enough on it, and I've blabbered enough. Let's go on to your number 3.
Let me tell you about my number 3. Now, my number 3 is another one that we did review, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. It's called Decadence.
Oh yeah,
Decadence is a really interesting show featuring. This show has a pedigree. Folks that worked on this one also worked on Mob Psycho 100. They worked on other stuff. There was one of the art directors actually worked on something else.
Need you say more than Mob Psycho 100?
God damn it! Do you want me to look it up real quick? You son of a.
No. What I'm saying is Mob Psycho 100 is like pedigree enough. That show is amazing.
Yeah, you don't need to say more. But point is, the show is freaking rad, and it's awesome. And I can't find it. I don't have time to look all this up. But point is, it's got a pedigree. It's rad. It's super cool. This show, Decadence, is one that I don't want to talk about too much because I'd get all spoiler. We already reviewed it, and it came out earlier this year. But I'm just gonna say it it basically involves a girl named Natsumi who's living in this big ass mobile fortress in the far flung, future. There's all these weird monsters running around and whatnot, and they're in this gigantic moving fortress that, if need be, can turn into a big old punchy fist and punch a big monster. There's these guys called the Gears who go out and fight, and there's other people. It's like she's living in the city. She's a human, and it's really wild. And it starts out as a weird cross between like Attack on Titan and like that Mortal Engines thing that I never saw, but it goes from there. From episode 2 on, there is such a huge twist that puts a whole new spin on everything, and it goes from being just that to this kind of like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's a weird, like almost like the Matrix and like a sword art kind of thing. It's different. It gets very different. And I don't want to say too much more without spoiling things, because I want more people to watch this, and hopefully, you already have. But the show is rad. The art is great. The music is good. The story is very intense. It's touching. It is action-packed. It has some great fight scenes, some monster fights, some good training montages. Just everything about it really clicks for me. And I just like it a lot.
Yeah.
It's a great show. It's a fun show. And Decadence is easily one of my favorite shows of the year. I mean, obviously, it's number 3 on my list. But yeah, man, it's just killer. And Roger's still typing up stuff, trying to find things. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I was looking at the pedigree for it.
Give me 2 seconds and I can find exactly what I'm looking for. So, Yuzuru Tachikawa is the director. Death Parade, Mob Psycho 100, screenwriter Hiroshi Seko, Attack on Titan, Banana Fish, and Vinland Saga. Fucking Vinland Saga.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers know their shit. They know how to make a good damn show. I think 2 or 3 out of those 5 I just mentioned ended up on previous top 5 lists for us at best animes ever. So, or for the year. So yeah, they know their stuff. This is a great show. I liked it a lot. I will say, maybe it gets a little convoluted, but overall,
does get a little, but
overall, great show, great fun, really action packed and rad. I love Decadence. Please watch Decadence.
Yeah, it's very good.
And that's my number 3. That's my bronze medal. So what do you got for me next up, Roger?
Number
for
2.
Your number 2, your silver.
I got Talentless Nana there.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you do.
Boy, it's so hard. I can't wait till we actually can sit down and do a real review of this.
Yeah.
To where we can talk about it further and get more spoilery, because it's hard. Like, I don't want to just drop it in this list. Even though we kind of did a brief thing on it, I still don't want to put it here because
people might have
ruin anything. Yeah.
You really need to check this one out. When I first mentioned it before you had watched it, I said nothing. I said, watch Talentless Nana.
Yeah.
Because, and this is the teensiest spoiler I'll give. If you even know that there's a twist in the first episode, that's a spoiler, baby. But please check out this show if you haven't.
Yeah, you really have to check it out. Some things that I can say about it is the way that the episodes build. All the way up to, every show has an incredible climax or whatever. The shows, the episodes all feel very full. They are always in motion. There's no downtime at all in this show, and damn does it work.
Yeah.
To really leave you on the edge of your seat to see what happens next. Even if every now and then they do introduce a new character, like, whoa, where the hell did this guy come from?
Yeah.
They still do enough to make it work, to really make, you get an understanding of who this character is. A lot of the characters are just background characters, but when they get their time to shine, man, is it impressive, the things that they can do with them and the outcomes of these characters. And then the way that it weighs on other characters, or the way they got around to doing things. It is very impressive. The show easily could be my favorite of the entire year if it weren't for a show that I just outright, this might be my definite pick of, because I love this property, because I love this show before, whatever.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to it, but I mean, best new anime, best, no tie-in or anything, no previous seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Best new for sure of the year. I loved Talentless Nana.
Very cool.
I cannot recommend it enough. Please go watch Talentless Nana.
And we will say it is not over yet.
Yeah, it's almost over.
Yeah, this first season, I believe, is 13 episodes. 12 are out right now.
Yep.
We got to talk about this most recent one when we're done recording, bud. But yeah, really rad show, really fun, super, super cool. Well deserving of the silver, deserving of the gold.
Yeah, absolutely.
But well deserving of the silver, certainly. Let me tell you about my number 2, my big steaming 2. My silver medal this year for 2020, the year of Zozo, goes to a show that I absolutely fell in love with earlier this year and I could not shut the fuck up about. It's called My Next Life as a Villainess, All Routes Lead to Doom. Listen, I think we're all kind of tired of isekais. And if you're not, God love you, you're doing great. If you're not tired of isekais yet, I'm a little tired of isekais.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't watch a single isekai all year.
God, you're doing it right, baby. I watched a few because I watched at least one episode of everything.
You're a masochist.
Except for a couple of the sequel series. There might have been one or two I missed out on. Sorry. But My Next Life as a Villainess, All Routes Lead to Doom is an isekai. There's a few things I really love about it, though. First of all, the basic story stuff. For one, you don't watch this person die. You don't see them get stabbed in the street or die in an explosion or get hit by a car. It starts with you already in this world where she is this young girl who's very pampered and prissy, and she's like the daughter of a duke or something. Like, it's kind of like old worldy. She's clearly part of the upper crust aristocracy. She is an absolute terror, this little girl. She's constantly like giving everybody shit, and she's really wild, and like it has to be my way. She's a real Veruca Salt, if you will. I want it now, one of those. She is hanging out with a princey dude who's the son of a duke or some bullshit. And it's like, oh yeah, this is definitely where this story's going, these two together. She bumps her head, falls, trips, bumps her head, slip, lip, bust her lip, and that's when all her memories of her previous life come rushing back to her. And that's how you get into, okay, this is in fact an isekai. And here's the thing. She realizes, 1, she was part of the real world, our world. 2, that the world she is currently in is one of these otome dating sim games that she was obsessed with. And 3, that she is not the main character of that game. She is not a romanceable option. She is not even a side character. She is the Billie Eyelash. She's the bad guy. Duh. And here's the thing about that game. Every ending, no matter what you do, you end up with this guy, that guy. Maybe you do something else. Maybe you don't end up with anybody. But every single ending of this game, the villainess, who she is living as right now, it don't end good for her. Some of them she dies. Some of them she's exiled. Every single one of them, it's a bad time. And so, like our boy Deku, I think I said before, she decides she's going to twist that fate, and she is going to change it. And that's where the beauty of the show comes in. It's her trying to change the world that she already knows is different. And it does throw some little twists at you. One of the things I really love about it, though, is that unlike most isekai, she is not overpowered. She don't really do anything. In fact, she's severely underpowered. This is a world where some characters have powers based on different elements. Fire power, wind power, water power. The main character of the game, who she meets later when she ends up in high school, has light power or something. But her thing, earth power. Specifically, she can make a little bump in the ground. That's it. And in the game, the villainess uses that to mostly make you trip and embarrass you. Haha, funny. That's it. That's her whole power. That's all she got. She is severely underpowered. She doesn't get through this and make friends and get through anything by being good at stuff, by being smart. She kind of just stumbles ass backwards into victory. She kind of just tries to be a good person. And it's so endearing, and it just really works. It's a fun show, super cute. She ends up essentially amassing a bisexual harem, because not only do a bunch of the guys end up falling for her, a bunch of the girls end up falling for her. And it's just real fucking fun. Moreover, not only that, but you also find out that maybe she's not the only person from the real world who got isekai'd into this. Not only that, the game she played it a lot. She got a bunch of different endings. She didn't see them all. There's secret characters she doesn't even know about who end up revealing themselves later. This show's rad. And if you just watched season 1 of it, I think it's very good. Apparently, they are planning to do more. And that's going to be going off book from what it's based on. And I don't know how that's going to work out. But I really love the first season of My Next Life as a Villainess, All Routes Lead to Doom. It is easy. I mean, it's my number 2 of the year. It's one of the best things I watched this year. It's just really fun, really cute. The amount of times I was laughing, and every now and then just like something happens, I'm like, bitch, what the fuck? It's hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious. It's a great show. Check it out. And that's my number 2. Roger, why don't you tell me about that gold medal, that prime cut, the good shit?
Who would have thought? My number 1 is Higurashi When They Cry Gal.
Yeah.
When They Cry New, whatever you want to call it. The newest season of When They Cry. Go click at any random point in the last several videos we've released or episodes that we released, and you can find me gushing about this one and why I like it. Show. Yeah. How it just falls in so close with the original and respecting it and, not muddying the water, but essentially, it kind of does muddy the water, but in the important way that it should, in which the formula has been all switched around for When They Cry. When They Cry is notoriously hard for me to explain, but essentially you got these characters, they have question arcs, and then later on there'll be another arc of the same event, same timeline, same few days playing with an answer arc. It's kind of like Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
And in the original show, it got figured out. They were able to break the cycle and go into the future. Go in, figure out what the rest of their lives are going to be like. Something has happened. Now, what the creators of the show did was really cool because they made it sound, it was intentional to make this sound like this was going to be a reboot or a remake of the original When They Cry. And they recreated the first episode so incredibly well to follow the first episode. But episode 2 reveals that this is an extension of the original show. And something else is happening.
In case anyone's wondering, I said earlier, I don't like doing sequels or anything on my like best of list. This is not this. First of all, it's your list.
Yeah.
Totally cool. You do whatever the fuck you want. But also, as you said, this is a sequel-ish, reboot-ish kind of thing.
They purposely, made it in this way, in which I really think that you could start watching right here and still get the same effect and feelings that you could get from watching the first one. Okay. Except now you have more polished animation, there's 13 years of design ingenuity and polish on it, along with these characters, which come from video games that were, essentially homemade games that blew up. It's a mystery. All of it is a mystery. And watching them try, and after you've already, essentially suffered with these characters, and seeing them getting drawn back into the loop and trying to figure out what the hell has changed, because it still hasn't revealed what the big, what caused them to go back, what caused the cycle to continue, what is the missing thing that they haven't, that you haven't figured out. I'm sure you could have solved it by now. I just am not smart enough to. It's fun because that's what When They Cry is. Essentially, you could have solved the original pretty early on.
It's like a Detective Conan, but way more violent.
Yeah, it does have a whole lot of violence. You see these poor kids getting massacred.
Do you dock points for the censoring in this season?
No, because that's just Funimation censoring.
Yeah.
It's, the actual show itself isn't censored.
Yeah.
So I'm
you don't get that Blu-ray.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that Blu-ray.
There's special edition? Hell yeah.
A recent update with the show or whatever, one of the characters that kind of everything clutches around, this character has been going through motions in these replayed scenarios where you can see them kind of break. Like, I don't know what's going on now. Essentially, she has a whole speech that blew my mind where she's like, good luck, dude. I don't know what's happening now. I don't know. This isn't going to end well for me, and it's probably not going to end well for you, and I know that this character's already dead.
Yeah, feels like we're pretty well fucked on this one.
Yeah, and then this new one, you know, as it's starting to play towards the answer arcs of the final season of where they broke through, the character is seeing, okay, hey, now I kind of remember fate can be changed. We can do this. Now I have a good feeling that it is about the whole rug is about to be jerked out from under these characters.
Ooh,
but
boy.
Man, the suspense and the excitement that this show builds, the way that they are able to build these very dark real world stories into these poor children, essentially, that, you know, most of them don't know that they're looping. They have no idea. And another character that has to watch this happen to their friends over and over. All these different fates, little changes that cause different things, but nothing is ever good almost. And the character just has to watch it. And you as the viewer has to watch
That fucking sucks, dude.
Yeah. But the way that it can build hope, you know, and the excitement to see, okay, this has changed. Now we're going to see what happens next.
Mm-hmm.
It's really it's really cool. It's like solving a math riddle or something.
Sure.
And it's the horror edge to it that they slice in there. The slice of life, the fun stuff that give you the misleading, like this is happy-go-lucky.
This is so fun. Why has he got a bat? Oh no.
Yeah. The suspense of knowing like who is going to die, because this season doesn't show you out front at the beginning anymore who is going to die.
Yeesh.
So it's freaking cool. Sometimes people don't die. Sometimes it's just horrible stuff happens to all of them. But man, it's great. It's great. I can't recommend it enough. You should absolutely watch it. Doesn't matter if you watch the original. Go watch the original. But if you don't want to go through that, watch this one now, because it's gonna be something you don't want to miss. I have a strong feeling it's not finished yet, but it is going to be something good. They've already done it several times, and they're gonna do it again.
I wonder if you could call it cyclical. Because, like, I haven't watched the original series. Could I watch this and then have the experience you're having, go back and watch the original and be like, oh, it's different? Like, maybe not quite that level.
Yeah, not quite that level.
Because this is, like, obviously they have the...
Because episode 2 gives you a big midpoint piece in the original. But I still think that it could be... You could enjoy it in any way you watch it. You might want to watch this one and be like, okay, now I'm really invested in going to see the original.
Very cool.
So...
Sorry, I keep yawning. Goodness.
It's great. I love it. It's my number one.
It's rad.
Can't recommend it enough. When
Very
They Cry Gal. Brandon, what you got for number one, dude? What you want to go on forever about?
I'll try not to go on forever. I'll go on for a little bit, though. So, I've talked about this on the show previously, briefly. One of my favorite things, there's a certain level of joy I get when I sit down with my good buddy Roger and we talk about anime or video games or music, because this is stuff that I know my good buddy Roger is really into. I know he has opinions. I know he knows his shit. And it's fun for me to watch someone kind of geek out about a subject. My girlfriend can't relate to this. She loves her some Disney. She loves her some Haunted Mansion. And listening to her talk about the fucking Hackbox Ghost, while I don't understand what that is very fun for me, because I enjoy seeing someone be passionate about something. And bearing that in mind, that is why my number one anime of 2020 is Keep Your Hands Off Aizoken, because that's the whole fucking show, baby. A program about these three girls, one of whom is very much an outcast. She's a little goofy goblin with her bucket hat and her giant backpack, and she just loves anime and animation and cartoons, and she just wants to make cartoons. She loves to draw. She loves
Changed
to
her
make
life.
Stuff. That's all she wants to do. It changed her life. It made her who she is. And with the little backstories you get for each of these characters is rad. Really informs everything. You've got the tall girl. If this were Ed, and Eddie, she would be the Eddie. She's on that hustle, baby. She's trying to get her money. How can I monetize this? How can I turn a profit? How can I make this successful so that it makes all of us successful so we can get paid, baby? And then you've got those two, they're kind of the outcast, they're kind of buddies, and then the new girl shows up in school who is definitely not an outcast. She has done some modeling work. She's a little bit famous. Everybody knows this girl. But she, not unlike our first girl, has a real passion for art and animation. She wants to make an anime. And the three of them get together, they form a little club, they're making these cartoons, and the amount of love that goes into this fucking show, where it shows you these different kinds of animation, gives you little history lessons on animation, and shows you the process by which animation is done. Even as they give you the slice of life stuff where they're just goofing around and hanging out and just living their lives. Even in the later episodes where they have to get with like someone who knows about sound, and they're recording sound effects and finding music in this giant music library and getting people to make music, and having to, we don't have enough time to do all this. We have to delegate this stuff. They get the art club in there too, because we're the animation club. We need someone specifically to do these backgrounds and whatnot. Okay, well, we'll do your backgrounds for you. Sure, blah, 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 etc. Favors and or money is exchanged. Well, this didn't come back right. You did this wrong, or we got to fix this. All these little micromanaging things that should be horribly boring work in this show because there's so much love and passion that goes into it. And I can understand how someone out there listening to me right now might say, Brandon, this sounds like kind of the snooty anime pick, because it's not because of any specific thing, but because like this doesn't sound all that exciting. It sounds like it's just like kind of artsy. It is kind of artsy, and I love that shit.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of fun, man. I really love this show.
It's very stylistic too.
Very stylistic. The intro and
incredible.
outro are great. The animation is very fun.
I mean, you did Devilman Crybaby, right?
Yeah, and you can see like just the amount of work that goes into every little thing. Again, the backstories you get on the characters are very touching, sometimes heartbreaking at moments. I love this fucking show. The closest I can describe to the feeling I get watching it is Carol and Tuesday, when you're watching them writing that song.
Yeah, when they're noodling.
Yeah, when you can really see the process of how it's coming together and how they're coming up with lyrics and figuring out the music and the notes and everything. Take that, stretch it out, and make it about cartoons.
Yep.
You've essentially got Keep Your Hands Off Aizoken. And it's such a fun show. It's such a cute show. Easily my favorite this year. And still has like some funny moments, like when Homegirl's trying to keep everybody on task because we have a fucking deadline, and they're like, oh shit, a Tanuki, and they're like chasing a raccoon dog or whatever, or just because they can't fucking focus, they got the ADD or something. Or the bits where she's trying to do promotion stuff, and she's like, we got to post about this on. I made a Twitter page so we can get the word out, and she's like, you're just messing around on social media. She just turns around and screams, "There is nothing fun about social media."
There really isn't. As somebody who has to do social media for their job, how it got delegated to me, I don't know. But
it's a lot of fun.
I do as little as I possibly can of it because I don't get paid for it.
Yeah,
and you should get paid for it.
You really should. But yeah, man, it's just a fun show. It's a great show. It is somehow managed to be educational. It's a slice of life / hobby show that has more heart and passion than any other slice of life hobby show I've seen. And that's why it's my number one.
Yeah.
Keep Your Hands Off Aizoken.
Good. It's a cute show.
Great show.
Yep.
And I think that about does it. How we feeling?
Yeah, feel good, dude. Brings us to our official list there of 2020.
We did it, kids.
We did.
We're gonna have I think we're about ready to bust out of this one.
Thanks a ton for hanging out with us, good buddies. We hope that you enjoy the videos we're putting out. Be sure to check out the other best of. Be sure to leave us your thoughts in the comments below. We really appreciate that. You guys are the best. Thanks a ton, good buddies. All the plugs are in the links below. You can check all that stuff out. But we'll catch you next time. Love ya.